Wow, that is a big, scary red button right there.
If I recall, one of our last episodes, we used that thing.
Yes,
And
we did.
Mashed the big button. That thing looks intimidating.
Actually, like, kind of genuinely scary. I've been really into studying nuclear war lately.
Oh, as one would.
And there's the infamous cultural icon of, like, you push the big red button to launch the nuke, right? So I don't know why my brain went there when I saw.
Is there actually a big red button?
There is no red button. There is 4 keys that must be turned simultaneously by 2 people.
Hope they're coordinated.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And
Or they have both
if it's
arms.
not done just perfectly right, it's all analog. That's what's so insane. You can't hack it. They're physical keys.
Well, that makes sense.
It's the same keys that they've had since 1961.
Whoa.
Same thing. And you have to, like, unlock certain things and activate this, and it takes 2 people independently doing it, and then you have to turn 4 keys all at the same time.
So that would
and that's what fires the nuke. Yeah.
President and Chief of Defense or whatever?
Mm-mm.
Who is
Okay,
it?
so this gets crazy and detailed and nerdy, but there are, like, hundreds of missile silos all across the northern United States.
Okay.
So, like, they're in North Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming, and one other state that I can't remember right now. I can't remember. Montana. That's what it is. In the middle of nowhere. So if the U.S. has to do a nuclear strike, the president will authorize it. There's a special key combination that only can be authorized from the president, and nobody can hack it because it's all in a self-contained unit called the football that goes with him everywhere. And so when he activates that and says, yes, these are the authorization codes for these targets that need to be struck, and it's all predetermined, and those codes change every day, I think it is. With, like, physical cards, right? So then when the alert goes out, the guys in the missile silo get the alert, and then they verify the combination code. It's like an encryption key, but half goes to one guy and half go to the other guy.
Oh, and they don't know which is which.
They don't know. They're in the same room, but they're, like, physically far enough apart that they can't, like, reach each other. And so then they say, okay, authorization code such and such, and then they compare. And that's how you know if it's, like, and there's a lot more too, but that's the main thing. And they're like, okay, yep, it's confirmed. And then they each have a key that unlocks a box that has the keys to stick in the machine to launch the thing. So they all have to verify this, and they have to put in, like, a verification code that's checked with the defense or with the Air Force, and then all these verifications, and they can do all this within just a couple minutes or less. And then they have a countdown clock, and they turn the keys, and that's what launches the nuclear warhead.
So basically, this is the same as my Microsoft dual verification thing.
Yes, but no, not really. Nope. And they're isolated in a nuclear-proof.
My 2-step verification process is about as complicated as what you just described. Either that, or I'm just really bad at it.
You're clearly pretty bad at this. Anyways,
the whole copy and paste thing always gets me.
Self-contained, 60 feet underneath the ground in a nuclear strike-proof bomb bunker. Can you imagine that? Whoa. Anyway, so there you go. You learned something new today.
Yeah. I was hoping I would learn that today.
Well, there's a lot more I could tell you. I interviewed one of the guys that flew the B-52s for this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And so he knew, he was telling me all kinds of stuff that was classified only a couple of years ago. It's been declassified, so he can tell me.
Good clarification.
Yeah, good clarification. Yeah, he's like, yeah, there's still some things they can't say. If I would, they would court-martial me immediately. So anyway.
That's scary. What are we doing with this episode? Do we want to talk about what's been happening? I mean, we kind of disappeared for like a solid year.
Is it really a year?
Yep.
Whoa.
I think.
Dude.
Last episode was about the law of inversion.
I think it was, yeah.
I think we filmed like one a while ago.
Yeah.
Just like a singular episode. And then before that, it was like when I came back from Mexico. No, it was after I built my house, I think. Which was a year ago.
So where we've been since, we're in your house now.
Yeah. My house.
Hello.
My studio.
You built a house, which includes a studio. And so here we are. It's like a nice way to break this thing in, even though you did it like a year ago and stuff. So we're really late.
Well, it took me about a year to get everything, aligned.
That's our good excuse, though, for not doing episodes.
Right. You've
been building a house, man. And I've been having
busy.
we had a baby, so I've been busy on that end. And, you built a house and traveling and,
Yeah. No, we've been doing all kinds of fun stuff. One of our listeners in the Czech Republic, I think it was the Czech Republic, reached out and was like, hey, where are you guys' podcast at? And incidentally enough, I was in Europe traveling for the pre-trip for AP when I got that message. And I was like, hey, and by the way, I'm just like a couple hours south of you right now. And we were going to catch up and grab a coffee, but Unfortunately, we were behind schedule, and so had to skip that, unfortunately.
That's a bummer.
And then we were going to do it in the second trip when we went back for the documentation trip, but that was also a bit busier than probably we anticipated. So it didn't work that time either, which is really unfortunate. But it was just really cool that like that happened. That I was able to be like, oh, actually, I'm passing through.
That's wild.
Like how crazy is that? So
Czech
unfortunately,
Republic is amazing. I
yeah,
love that
I
country.
think it was the Czech Republic.
No, I think so if I remember right.
Because Prague is in the Czech Republic, right?
It is.
Yeah. And we were going to meet in Prague.
Yeah.
We should do a whole episode on the Europe trip.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should do this one really quick and then wrap up and do that one.
Yeah, because we spent a month doing a documentary series.
And it was awesome.
Yeah, all across Europe. So that was cool. Because you hadn't traveled much in Europe before. And so that was really fun to do that together.
Well, our first international trip together.
Yeah, I know. Never done it.
That's kind of crazy. We've traversed the globe independently, kind of. And so doing that together was a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, all that to say, lots of stuff has been happening. So if you're watching on the YouTubes, or if you just swipe up on Spotify, you can see our beautiful faces.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can see my amazing wall.
There's
right
nothing
here.
on it.
Absolutely nothing on it.
You need to hang some art.
Well, so behind me is my life calendar that I haven't updated
In a minute.
since I was 23. So a couple years ago, 2 years ago. So I need to update that. But I'm thinking I'm going to hang it right here.
Yeah.
And got a cool bulletin board right there with all my stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, anyway, all that to say, you guys should be following us on the YouTubes because we do a little show and tell every now and then. Like today, probably.
I was going to say, you're going to show us something interesting.
Fun fact,
Hit
I
me
don't
up.
know where it's at.
Wasn't it downstairs?
Yep, BRB's.
Okay. Nice.
And we're back.
All right. So after you built a house, you took on another project.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. You need to tell us about what you're holding there.
Well, incidentally, it took longer than building my house.
Really? Wow.
Didn't cost as much though.
Wow.
So I'm holding the Hyperfocus quarterly planner, which I made, me, myself, and I have had it printed and finalized, and everything's ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 100 of them sitting over there in the other room, waiting to be sold. Which, because I was like, I figured I'm going to make one. If I like it, probably other people might.
Yeah.
At least that's the idea.
Yeah.
Because I've been using this. So I had another planner, which is laying around somewhere, and it was the Finisher's Journal. It worked really well. I liked it, but the only thing with that one, it didn't take me deep enough into like singular tasks. So basically, I wanted a planner that wasn't spread wide. It didn't have all like this extra stuff in it.
Yeah.
So many times, man, I was just editing my video about the release of this planner today. And in the video, I like read through like a basic Amazon planner, like all the things that it has in it. And it's like 15 different things. It's like mood board, vision board, mind map, habit tracker, yearly calendar, monthly calendar, weekly calendar, daily view, weekly view, goals page, goals planning page, events page, hourly tracker. I'm like, chillax, man. Like,
because you're not realistically.
Yeah.
You might use two of those things.
Yeah.
Or something.
Well, and that's why they did it, because then it appeals to a broad range of people.
Yeah. Okay.
But they like have a finance tracker in the back of it, and I'm just like, guys, like it when you use a planner like that, it's designed to fit your entire life inside of their system.
Yeah.
Which means you either have to overhaul everything or you don't use all of their stuff, which is annoying. And so I was kind of just thinking that's kind of wasteful and not a great plan. So I was like, okay, I'm going to design a planner that is one job, and it does that one job well, and it doesn't try to do everything else. So there's no fluff, there's no extra. It does one thing, and it does it really well. And that one thing, I'm building anticipation here. That one thing is focus. It drives intense focus on the most important parts of our lives. And so it's got questions and things in it to help identify what that is. And it creates like a funnel starting wider with the quarterly project, weekly, and then daily, and then hourly. So my whole thing with it was, I want to get the most important tasks done, and I want to focus on those and be undistracted. And so I was already doing that. Like I was already doing all of the system of this planner with my previous planner, but I was like manually writing it in. So on the left side was kind of their stuff, and on the right side there was a big blank notes page. And so I'm like drawing in like my planner on the other side. And after a while I was like, I already have it all down. I know exactly what I want. I'm just gonna make it. So I did. And it's kind of crazy to be holding like something I made.
Well, okay, so that's the first question I have is like, why isn't this just a Notion template? Why is it physical?
Yeah. So, there's, I would definitely make more money if I was doing something digital. If that was the point, if I was like, I want to make money, that would be the way I would do it. And I'm going to play around with a few options just to see if it's even feasible, if people want that. But right from the beginning, I was just like, back to the whole, it tries to do everything. I don't want a dead battery, notifications, and nothing. I just want it to do one thing, manage my tasks, help me focus to a better level than is possible otherwise. And so the physical way of doing that, or the physical version of that, is by far the best. We're talking about focus, not getting distracted. Like this thing, it literally cannot distract you.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tear pages out and make paper airplanes, but like it won't distract you. If you have this on your phone, if you have this on an app or on a Notion page, you are a half a second from a notification, a distraction, anything. And so I was just like, nope. I like physical stuff. I like notebooks. I like the feel of paper.
Well, okay, because this is interesting. I went on YouTube the other day, and YouTube recommended me a video about a pocket notebook. It was your video.
Oh, fancy that.
And I looked, and it was like 4 million views or something insane, right? The thing just keeps going. So I was like, your whole YouTube journey went into the stratosphere with that video.
Right.
And it really, it hit something. It became big enough that it shows this wasn't a quirk. It's like a trend almost of going back to analog, right? Like going to notebooks. And that got you started going down a track. And then you started writing on Substack more, which, by the way, your Substack's really good. And so people should go check it out. But you started writing on Substack about some of these themes that undergird the foundations of why you did this notebook. It seems to me, at least, because like when you handed it to me, I'm like, oh, based on what I've been seeing you write, based on some of your earlier videos with like notebooks and the power of doing that, pushing back against the distractions, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Because a lot of people be like, notebook, whatever. Like my phone can do all that. Right. Isn't that kind of the point though? Your phone could do all that.
That is the point. So like you can journal on your phone too, but are you going to do that?
Does anybody journal on their phone?
No.
Doesn't Apple have like the journal thingy on your phone?
I've never used to.
Yeah, like hold on.
I mean, they have the Notes app, but I don't think
I thought they might have discontinued it, but there was like an app for journaling on the iPhone, and I was like, I opened it one time. What's it called? It's not called Journal. Man, this is terrible.
I don't think they have it anymore.
I like opened it one time because I was like, oh, let's see if it's any, and then never used it ever again.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing.
Where is it?
When people say that, and I get that.
Anyways.
And I used to think that way. I can do that on such and such. Yeah. I mean, you can, but you have to genuinely ask yourself, okay, what is the healthiest way for me to compartmentalize my life? Yeah. And so, I can journal on my iPhone too, but it is a totally different experience than journaling in an actual journal. So, I mean, can I do it on this versus my phone is a terrible question. Like, I don't even know why people are asking that. Yeah. I mean, I get it for ease, but.
So this is interesting because you have these, you have analog, physical, like in your case, a physical planner, which on the surface seems, well, that's terribly inefficient. I could do so much faster if I did my planning in like Notion and Google Calendar, which is a pretty common combination now. With like Notion Calendar is like really good. And by the way, we're both big Notion fans, so people go check it out. So you have that side, which is like full on tech. And then you have the analog. This could be from, 1400, right. or whatever, paper and pen. And then there's this weird gray area in the middle where people are trying to combine the two.
Yes.
Have you seen the Remarkable tablet?
I have one. Well, not that, but
have you seen Peter McKinnon, the
Yes.
big YouTuber, his review of the Remarkable tablet? It was amazing. It was amazing because he likes notebooks, and people are like, you got to try this tablet out. It's going to be the perfect combination of your love for tech and your love for analog. And he's like, I hate this thing.
yeah, it's $1,000.
It's $1,000, and I could buy a notebook for $5 that does the same thing, and I could write on it, and it would write even better than this $1,000.
Right.
So anyway, I was like, I actually really resonated with that. Anyways,
It cracked me up.
You have I got to see this. You have a Remarkable
it's not
tablet?
a Remarkable, but it's a very similar.
I gotta see it.
Okay, let me grab it. It's also downstairs.
We can cut this if it's too boring and people don't care, but yeah. Oh wait, I think I might know what this is.
And I got it for free.
You got this for free?
It's $959, brand new.
Whoa.
I think.
Whoa. Okay,
At least it was when I used it.
I will say though, e-ink screens are like magic. So if you haven't experienced e-ink screens for e-readers, but I'm saying for Kindle books.
Yes.
Yeah. These things, if you can see on the screen, I mean, these things are really cool.
Not sponsored.
Oh wait, it has the brand. Oh, ew. No, ew, gross. Okay, not sponsored. We don't know about this. How do I turn it on though?
Let me. I think it's on the top.
Oh, that's not the right button.
There's on the top left.
This
There's a
thing's
button.
Really cool.
It's really thin and it's really light.
So I have an e-ink tablet, but I
Okay.
use it as an e-reader. You
Yeah.
can get your Kindle books and your, my ebooks and all that stuff on it. So like I'm not against the tech because there are limitations, but I will say I'll take a physical book any day.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I use it for ebooks is, a lot of the classics are free on Kindle. So, or travel. You take this one tiny little thin, super light tablet and I have my whole library on it. But at the end of the day, I want to own the book.
Right. Yeah.
If you have Kindle, Amazon has changed the game now. When you get a Kindle book, you don't own that book. It's never been that you've owned it. And they just changed it to where you can't actually like access them outside of the Kindle ecosystem. There used to be a way you could like jailbreak and get them. I forget what the tech was called, but people would do that so they could actually like physically, like I have it on my hard drive. Like I own this.
It's yours.
And they just changed the software underneath it a couple months ago to stop that from happening. Basically being the last nail in the coffin saying, you don't own these books. You own a subscription that allows you to access them. But we can revoke that at any point. And they have pulled books off the Kindle store that people have bought and owned.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, actually, we don't carry that book anymore. Sorry, I know you paid $20 for it, but like we're going to pull it because the point being technology is very transient. And that's not all bad, but that's where it's the same underlying philosophy that says maybe a paper planner, pen and paper is actually like kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Like your ancestors 200 years from now can flip through that and still read it if they wanted to.
Yes, I've had a big argument with my subscribers about this. It's great. We go back and forth.
This tablet is legit, bro.
We talk about whether or not you should. There's a train passing.
He lives next to a train yard, man.
We've talked about whether or not it
doesn't
is more if it's more long lasting to use technology versus physical.
That's an argument?
Oh yeah, because people are like, you can put it on the cloud, you can like save it, you
Have
can
they never
transfer
heard
it.
of server farms going down? Whoa.
And I'm like, okay, I totally disagree with that. Like I have notes from 12 years ago. No, not even 12 years ago.
Wow.
Like 6 years ago from when I was at SMBI that do not work. Like gone.
Yeah, same.
And so it's this, I was just like, no, but yet I've 6 diaries from my great grandfather in like 1920 that are in perfect condition and I can read them right now. This whole idea that tech is the way of preserving our future is total bonkers, and I don't agree with it.
Yeah, but the data is overwhelming. Like even scientists working in the field of tech would obviously acknowledge this. Like the loss of human knowledge because of technology and the preservation, let's be fair, is off the charts. It's in the billions of gigabytes of information of human history that has been lost. To give an example, it's in the book, The Clock of the Long Now, by the way.
Yes, which I have.
Which you have.
And we did a podcast on.
Yes, and people should go listen to it because The Clock of the Long Now it aligns it with this underlying philosophy. It's very important. Which, by the way, side note on The Clock of the Long Now. So The Clock of the Long Now is basically we're going to build things of permanent nature to preserve knowledge and and preserve knowledge of the human race for thousands of years. So they're building a clock that will tick for 10,000 years,
So cool.
essentially, and preserve, like, physically etched into gold tablets, literally, information and books and things that we want to be preserved in the event of the worst case scenario. It's like nuclear bomb proof. It's far away from all earthquake areas. It's bored into the center of a granite mountain in the middle of nowhere. It's absolutely cool. I just realized, who wrote the check to build it? They'd been working on this thing for like 20 years, and they kept running out of money, and they couldn't build it. It was very expensive, millions and millions of dollars. But they had this vision, right? You know who just wrote the check a couple of years ago? Jeff Bezos.
Whoa.
The man who has, more than almost any human alive, pushed information into digital forms that you can no longer own and access, like Kindle, right? Has written the $20 million check to complete the project. And I'm like, the irony of that, but he gets it. He understands, well, hold on, Kindle is cool. And it's a great piece of technology. I use it often. But at the end of the day, he's a smart man, and he knows to preserve the knowledge of the human race, we got to have some backups here. We got to have other options.
Real backups.
People go do clockthelongnow.com. I think it is. It's absolutely fascinating stuff. I'm a huge fan. I can't wait to go visit it someday. It's in like Colorado or something. Okay, all that to say, back to the loss of human knowledge. In that book, in The Clock of the Long Now, in the 1960s and 70s, I think it was, when they were first figuring out the underlying components that build the modern computing revolution that we have right now, like how your computers work at a fundamental level. And things like machine learning, how computers can make decisions based on data being inputted and things like that. I don't remember exactly all the technicals. It's being worked on at a university for like a decade, but all that programming was on these old, basically magnetic tape drives that are not like normal magnetic tape drives. These are older than that even. So you can still run computers on magnetic drives, by the way. Like most of the airline industry, for example, still runs on floppy disks, by the way. So just keep that in mind next time you fly.
Nice.
No wonder planes follow this guy. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. But no, they really do. It's just, anyway, it works. These old drives were in a basement somewhere, but all the computing systems that can read them have went obsolete. And we have completely lost all that information that tells exactly how the modern computing revolution was built. We don't even know. We don't even have access to those first lines of code. All the records of literally a decade of the best scientists in America building the underlying systems that hold up the world, really. I mean, when it comes to computing, we've completely lost it. And people will be like, well, who cares? I mean, it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, but like history, like, isn't that kind of like, it's kind of a big deal to lose enormous amounts of information, and there's no way we can read those drives anymore. You would have to reverse engineer computing systems that are 60, 70 years old. And I mean, how? You'd
have to literally reinvent it from scratch.
You'd have to start over.
But it'd be harder than that because you'd be reinventing it exactly the way it was invented the first time.
And so the whole point that he was making in the book, The Clock of the Long Now, which again, Jeff Bezos wrote the check for, which is just awesome.
That's crazy.
The whole point he was making in that is like, technology is transient. Like, this is obvious. Who remembers floppy disks? Okay, actually I do. Well, I was with a friend and we were in we were doing a video project, and I was like, wow, this is a neat blast from the past. He had it in like a cupboard in his office, and he's like, what is that? He had never seen a floppy disk before. And he's only a few years younger than me. It's already gone. But it's like, what about actual floppy disks, the 8-inch floppies? We don't even know what those are anymore.
Yeah, I've never.
I
would never have seen those. I've seen those at the 4-inch, but
but you would never actually recognize if you saw like one. They're round. They're like a record, and you would slide it into your computer. It's gone. Well, that's not that long ago. That's only 30 years.
Not that long ago.
30 years ago, that would have been completely normal. 30 years in the span of humanity's existence is nothing.
Nothing.
Whereas that notebook, people could use that 500 years from now.
Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy when you think about it.
Anyway, that was a long bunny trail, but I really care about this stuff. Though. But this is a cool piece of technology. I'm not going to lie. Like,
it is very
really
cool.
Impressive.
It is very cool. But back to the tablet side of things.
But the touchscreen doesn't work.
Here, let me. I think it's just locked. Does it work now?
Well, the buttons work, but the screen changed, so something happened. Oh, this is actually really cool, though, dude. This is delicious.
So
wow.
The way I think, so something Peter said in his video is he's like, if I'm going to write on a piece of technology, I want it to be like technology. Like I want it to be fast and easy and all this. And that's not. Like it's slow and cumbersome and not in a good way. Like it doesn't slow you down like writing in a journal will. It slows you down out of sheer like frustration.
Yeah.
So it's like you like write something and then, I want to move that. Oh, this is going to be so cool. I can just circle it and move it because it's an e-ink tablet. Well, psych, you move it and it glitches and decides to throw it up in the middle of your page somewhere else. And now it's surrounded by other words. And you're like, okay, this is great. Now what? Now I have to rewrite. It's just like, And so stuff like that. Now, reading books would be great, aside from the fact that you can't use it. Well, here, let's stop beating on my $1,000 tablet.
So, question: did someone see? My guess is, let me take a guess. Some company is trying to sell a piece of technology. They saw you made a video that got 4 million views. Which let's just take a moment of like, hold up, that's 10% of the entire population of America. So that's cool. Saw that video and was like, hey, let's send you one of these. Hopefully you'll like it and put it in a video so they sell it and make more money. Essentially, is that what happened?
That's exactly what happened.
So how come the touchscreen doesn't work? I was trying to. Anyway.
I think it only works with the pen. Here, give me that.
Are you serious? Okay, that's not even cool.
Yep, that's what it is.
No. What if I want to read a book and I don't want to use a pen?
But it's like laggy. Like you write and it's like a split second behind it.
Yeah, that's frustrating. We really should link Peter McKinnon's video.
Yeah,
in this,
you
by
need
the
to
way.
use the pen in order to do
serious?
this. There's a setting where you can turn that off, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. If it's $1,000, that thing better be made with gold glint around the edges.
Try writing with it. It feels better than like my iPad with the screen protector thingy on it.
Yeah. All right.
But then your nibs wear down on the tip of the thing.
Ooh, that does feel nice.
But the other thing is like I can't, like if you want to read on it, downloading a book is a pain. It's just like it's laggy and you have to connect to the internet. You're like you press the key and you wait a second. Oh, it popped up. Press this one. Like it's not good. I'll take my iPad for writing and stuff any day over that.
So I just wrote. This could be a whole episode. But did you read my last newsletter? Or no, not my last. The one before it on techno-feudalism.
No.
You really should, because I ran into a philosopher. He's an Orthodox. What is he? Orthodox Christian philosopher on Substack, Jared Henderson. And he writes about this stuff some, and he's amazing about the influence of technology on our lives. But now he's a YouTuber, so he's like not anti-technology, but he's like showing the limitations. And he was talking about the books thing especially, and how you don't actually own your Kindle books, and how this is a problem. And he's like, I want my kids to inherit my library. Well, if they're all on Kindle, they won't.
That's a good
so
point.
He's like, wait a minute. And he was kind of like this realization, like, hold on, like, do I actually care about this or not? Like, I'm thinking like, inheriting some of the books from Grandpa. Like I got his Bible from, way back that Grandma gave it to him before they got married as like as a gift, and it has all his little notes in it, and just like it's a window into his life.
Yeah.
Oh, what if he just read it on a tablet? I mean, hello, you would lose so much history there. It would be like, that's kind of a bummer, and yet I get to inherit that. But like, that's kind of cool, and then my kids can inherit that, and
exactly.
like, I want my kids to inherit my library. I don't want them to inherit an Amazon account.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon's not going to be around in 50 years, realistically. Like, will the company even exist? I mean, what big tech companies from 30 years ago are still here? A few.
NASA. Barely.
Yes, that's just, okay. Whatever, but
got you on that one.
Which, by the way, we wouldn't even have the internet if it wasn't for NASA.
Yeah,
so,
no
like,
kidding.
that's cool. But anyway,
all that
to say, people go buy your notebook. Is that the point?
Yes. Well, so here's the dealio. Whoa, that was loud. So it's crazy to hold something that I created from absolute scratch. If you build a bookshelf, that's cool. But there's tons of bookshelves that people build. Like, this does not exist anywhere on the planet. Anywhere. Like, what I'm holding has never been done before, never exactly like this, and it probably never will be again unless someone copies it. And to be able to hold that is just so cool. Yeah. Like, I created something brand new. Like, I adopted ideas from, hundreds of different sources and whatever that I learned over the years. But ultimately, this is a brand new thing. And I made a bunch of mistakes with it. And I've learned a ton from it. And I make hundreds of videos and they just disappear into the ether.
Yeah.
But this is like the first thing that I've created from scratch. Like a video is from scratch. Same deal. You know, you can't recreate that. But this is the first thing I've created from scratch that I've actually been able to hold. And that's really cool. Like that's really, you have a bug on you.
Where?
Right here. Oh, he's running.
How come there's
I think you got him.
Oh,
Is it a spider?
that was an ant.
What? That's crazy.
Anyway.
So yeah, anyway, that's really cool. That gets me fired up. Like when these showed up in the mail and I held one and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is cool. And then I did some calculations. I was like, okay, if nobody buys these and I use it every day, I'll have enough planners until I'm 80. So we're good.
Wow.
But aside from just the coolness factor, I'm actually very, very, like this is a good system. Like I'm not just saying that because I hope people buy them. This is a really good system. If you want to manually control flow, this is what you need.
Yeah.
I've managed my life on a physical thing of some kind for the last 8 years. And during that time, I have been my own manager, my own boss, and totally responsible for everything that I get done on my YouTube channel, all of the creative stuff I've done. The fact that this is like the sole driver of that should say something. There's no way I could have accomplished that without this system. And so to finally take that incredibly valuable catalyst of my life and turn it into something that I can use repeatedly is really cool.
Yeah.
And I really strongly believe in this. It's helped me a ton. Like I put hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars into this, and I'll probably make that back, like the money, if I sell these. But even if I don't, I'm fine with that because this saves me. I'm not even joking. This probably saves me 5 to 10 hours a week.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
See because people might be like, oh, he's trying to monetize his audience and make money.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to make money, just for people who've not done physical products,
this is not the way to do it.
This is not, no. Actually, Ali Abdaal made a video about this because people got on him about that. Like he's starting to like make physical goods and they think, oh, you're just trying to, grab people for the cash. He's like, I make way more money on my YouTube videos. Like, why would I need to build my own keyboard? Like he built his own keyboard because he's just like, I love it and I care about it. So like, I think that's important that it's something you did because you cared about it and like, oh, if it sells and you make a little bit, like, great.
Yeah.
But that's not really the motive here necessarily.
No.
I think that's a big deal.
I built it for me.
Yeah.
I got so tired of drawing my own planner every day that I was like, this is dumb. I'm gonna make my own.
Yeah.
And so here we are. But that aside, like it is something I do believe in a lot. And so for someone who is managing their own time, even if that's 3 hours a day, like I would highly recommend it because it's not going to work for everyone because again, everyone's system is a little bit different and their work is a little bit different and whatever. But this, it was really cool actually. So I read a book called Hyper Focus by Chris Bailey, which is what this is named after actually, the Hyper Focus Planner. And so I designed most of this entire thing. And then I'm reading this book and he starts going through the list of like the things you need to absolutely go into like laser focus on something. And I'm like reading it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's a little bit familiar. Oh, and then I finished the chapter and I'm like, everything he just mentioned is what I have in my planner.
Yeah.
And I did not even realize it. Like I found them on my own, but I'm reading the book like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like that, this, I knew that. And then I finished, I was like, wait a second. Like everything he just described literally is encompassed in my planner. Like that's what my planner does.
Yeah.
Like at its core, like the system, the way you structure your day, everything. And I'm like, that's really cool. So I figured it out on my own. And then I kind of got reassurance of like, oh, this is actually a thing. Like this isn't just for me. This is like, this is kind of universal about how focus works. And I'm slowly learning more and more about it. And I'm actually drilling into focus much more heavily because I'm realizing how unbelievably important focus is. And especially because our world is losing it. And so this is more than just, like you said, a way to make money or something. Like, I deeply care about this because we are losing the ability to focus. We are losing our attention spans and losing our abilities. And I'm tired of people saying just to get off your phone. Like, we're so far past that, and that's such a caveman explanation of how to fix your attention span. Like that, there's so many things we can do versus what we shouldn't do. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, in the next 5 to 10 years, the people that are going to make it in their family life, in their business, in whatever goals they set, are going to be the ones that know how to focus. Yeah. And I want to be a part of that. And so that's partially, again, why I created it. So that like there's a lot of, actually, I care a lot about it. It's more than, just making money or even just a side project. Like, I genuinely care about it. And as I learn more about it, I'm pivoting my Substack and my YouTube channel kind of towards that. About like, hey, it's time to start taking back some of this attention that's being harvested from us. Like that's a problem. We need to be in charge of that. Like, we need to be in charge of our attention and say where it goes, and also build it back up. Like, you can increase your attention span. It's actually not that hard, but people don't know how. And it's like, why aren't people being taught these things? Like, you can literally make your attention span longer. Why would you not want to do that? Instead of telling people, oh, wow, these kids, bad at TikTok. I'm like, all right, forget all that. We've all heard that a billion times. Let's talk about what we can do about it. Yeah. So the farther I dig into it, the more I learn about how unbelievably valuable it is. And the other thing, I just learned this from the Huberman Lab podcast. This blew my mind. So neuroplasticity, right, requires 3 things if you are going to change your brain intentionally. So there's habitual change, which is where you like form a habit and it becomes a groove in your brain, and the neural circuits become like familiar with that, and it gets like grooved into your brain, right? That's a habit. I'm talking about like learning a new skill, like skydiving. Yeah. Whatever it may be, like an actual skill, sitting down, reading a book. I'm going to learn this information. There are 3 things that you need to do that. Alertness, which is epinephrine or adrenaline in the brain. Focus, which is acetylcholine, and sleep. If you do not have those 3 things, your brain will not change. And so I listened to that and I was like, focus is one of the 3 pillars of change. Like, straight up, your brain releases acetylcholine, which is literally what like makes your brain malleable in that specific area that you're focusing on. And that is what changes your brain. Literally, that is what changes your neuroplasticity in your brain. And so if you don't know how to focus, you can't learn. Like, I'm not just saying that as in like, oh, he's bad at focusing, he gets distracted. No. Like, literally, you can't learn. You can't. It's impossible. Your brain will not change. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's a really big deal. Yeah. Like, that's really big. That's bad. Like, if people, like, we're losing our ability to focus, which consequently means we're losing our ability to change, to learn things. To change and to learn. It's like, that's a problem. So anyway, I'm just like, I get fired up about it because I'm like, man, we got to start figuring this out. We absolutely have to start figuring this out. And this is kind of how I'm starting to do it. So anyway, long-winded ranty rant there, but that's kind of the vision behind it. And if people want specifics on like how this system actually works, we can dive into that at some point. Or if you want, there's a couple different ways that they can learn about it. So I'm making a video about it, like a very detailed walkthrough video, where I actually go through and real time plan out tomorrow. And then I go and do tomorrow and bring the people along and show them, okay, here's what I wrote down yesterday. Here's how I actually go about doing it, yada, yada, from actual real life scenarios. And so that's a good way to learn. Or I'm also going to make an email course that just like breaks down each section of the planner. Nice. That way people can just sign up for it, pops in their inbox, and they can read today's thing, every day for a couple of days, and then they can learn about it that way, and that there's no commitment and stuff. So there's kind of 2 ways. Yeah. So if people are interested in actually how it works, that'd probably be the 2 best ways to find it. Yeah. Which people should totally do because it's awesome. Oh, it matches. I didn't even realize that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so true though. Cause like, if you look at, I've been interested in reading biographies for a long time, and so I'm always looking for good biographies. And you look at those people that have moved the needle, and they know how to innovate. They know how to try new things, and they're not very distracted.
No.
You can just see it. You know, Warren Buffett's a great example where he said one day, he's like, someone was asking for advice or whatever, and he's like, well, let me show you my calendar for the year. Okay, wow, we get to see Warren Buffett's calendar for the year. Okay, this is going to be gold. So he like pulls out his paper, calendar. The dude's like 92 or whatever. And he's like, okay, well, now here's January for next year. And it was blank. It's nothing on it. Here's February. Here's what I have scheduled for February. Nothing. March. They go through the whole year. There's nothing scheduled. And the person's like, this is a joke. He's like, no. I've been successful because I do like one thing really, really well.
Yeah.
And that is read basically like portfolio reports from companies. And then I'll make around 2 major decisions and things I want to do every year. And that's it. Mm-hmm. That's like all I do. And I've been doing it forever. And I credit, what is it? Is it quote like I credit my success to some luck, tenacity, and just like, being in it for the long haul, basically. And that's how he's become so successful in many areas of his life. I was like, how about that? How about that?
Pretty crazy.
Isn't that something? And
so, yeah,
he's been doing it for his whole life. I mean, you got to pay attention to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and not just him. Like I've studied over the years. I've encountered and read a lot of like the top performers in the world.
Yeah.
Like best of the best. And like Steve Jobs,
yeah,
Lewis O'Brien, Tim Ferriss, like people that are leading the charge in their particular area that nobody's ever really done before. And I don't think it's coincidence that almost every one of them has said at some point or another that they focus on 1 to 3 things a day.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
And
just
the rest of it is just noise. Steve Jobs' whole like 80-20 thing, signal, noise.
Yeah,
80% signal,
thing.
20% noise, and that's that.
Kevin O'Leary swears by that as well.
Yeah, well, and Lewis O'Brien worked for Steve Jobs, and so he was talking about this on the podcast with the Diary of the CEO, and he's like, he still uses that system every day. He puts 3 sticky notes on his mirror, and that is signal. And 80% of his day is accomplishing that, and he does not end his day until he finishes those things. 3 things, that's it. And so I keep hearing these things. Yeah. And so that's why in my planner for each day, there are 2 tasks. That's it. And for each week, there's 1 core focus. Just 1. You can have 1,000 tasks, but you can only have 1 that's the most important. Yeah. So like it's all built around this, and I'm just fires me up. Like I think it's so cool. I'm excited to see if it actually if people like it.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear what the feedback will be.
It's very different. It's not a normal planner.
Yeah, I like that though. Well, I say we wrap it there and tell people to go to your website and pick one up for themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Anything else you want to say in closing?
No, I'll put the links for like the video and the email course. The free email course. No commitment in the description if people want it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for listening or watching or whatever the case may be. And maybe we'll get this podcast back on a more regular schedule from this point on. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. All right. Thanks everyone for listening.
Good times. See you in a year.